Hello. Today we are going to take a look at dev tips or dev tips for designers and their video on HTML5 basics and their whole playlist actually. I'm going to have we uh, look at each of these things, break it down, what is good for it. Is this good for you? Is this what you want? Like, is this your learning style? And yeah, I'll basically just start off with saying I actually quite like these videos, and seems like they were, pretty ahead of their time, as far as I'm concerned. 2013. I don't think HTML5 even came out properly as a full release until 2014. So, had uh, ahead of their time in a few regards, like editing style and stuff. It feels like a modern video. Um, the only uh real complaint that I have is how close he gets to the camera sometimes. But it also makes for some, interesting energy, and it's a bit goofy. It's very, yeah, I would say it's a very goofy learning style, and if you're into that, then you will love these. Um so yeah, I'll break down sort of what you're getting in each of these things, and why it would be good for you. So the main thing that I would take away from this is I've been learning about uh web development stuff for I don't know how long, but probably, maybe 6 years. And not really gone into a lot of depth, but I've gone through a lot of like different tutorials and a lot of sort of intro guides, or you know uh, beginner tutorials, and I've got to say this one is probably the most interesting in the sense that, and maybe one of the more useful ones for long term use. And the reason why is because this is one of the few tutorials out there that actually try to explain what things do. Um, so, in particular, these from part 3 to part 6 are really like making you understand how each of these things come together, like how the HTML actually comes together, and like why you use certain tags for your website, and how elements work and things like that. So yeah, I think it's very interesting. The first two videos are a bit more detached and more like, you can see it's history of HTML and philosophy of HTML. And those are kind of like, I would say, nice things to know and like good things to know in general, but less necessary. Part 3, 4, and 5, and also 6, actually, where it goes into the DOM tags, display types, and HTML5 tags, are going to be quite good for long term development. Um, it's things that you should really actually know and understand, but a lot of tutorials just jump into this bit here where it's like actually talking about coding and what it would be like practically. So here you can see that there's an uh, actual code here and how it would actually look on the screen. And yeah, it's quite. This is where people normally jump in, is just like straight into the code without understanding what each part does. Some tutorials will try to explain it on the fly, but this is like quite a good in-depth look at each part. So and what each thing does. As you can see, he's a bit goofy. Starts off by uh, you know, eating some food. Um, but yeah, you kind of get that high energy, very close to the camera, but it's grown on me a bit. The sort of like this kind of style, and yeah, my only maybe complaint really would be about wanting to see more things in action as he's sort of talking about them. You see this bit where he's just drawing on his face and explaining like how block tags work and uh inline. Yeah. So yeah, very very goofy, but quite funny, and it makes it easier to digest. I think when you've you know break things down with humor. Um, so yeah, if that works well for you, then yeah, go straight into it. If you are looking to just straight up learn how to code, this will work. You can go to this video here, and then you can jump right into coding. This is also interesting here. This Espresso app, which seems to be only for Mac, which sucks because I don't have a Mac yet. Um, so yeah, but it's I think it's a premium app, so you probably have to pay for it. But you can just sort of write, and then it updates what it would actually look like in a web browser on the right. So that's pretty cool. Looks pretty plain here, but I looked at a more up to date version of Espresso, and it was actually uh looking more something closer to Visual Studio Code, which is what I normally do. So I don't know, might be worth looking into that. And yeah, I think I think that would be cool if you have a Mac using Espresso. Um, but you can use anything. I mean, simple as Notepad on Windows, or there's also Notepad plus plus, which is a little bit more interesting. And then I would say anyone starting off in 2022 should be using Visual Studio Code. To be honest, I just think it's my favorite development environment. So yeah, I would recommend that. But yeah, Espresso seems like it's an interesting platform. I think for Visual Studio Code, there is also a plugin that you can get to see like a live updates, so that might be worth looking into as well. But yeah, this channel very interesting. These videos very useful, despite being coming out in 2013. It's still relevant today, still works today, and if you're wanting to learn how to develop code, then this is a great video. If you want to actually understand the code, this is a great playlist. Um, so yeah, I would highly recommend. So yeah, thanks for watching.